Hey there folks, this is Greeny welcoming you to it's going to be a sort of mashup of a review and a let's play of the first level of Theme Hospital. This is going to be the PS1 version. As you can see in the video right now, it's made by Bullfrog. There's loads of clever little bits of humour. I'm going to leave this to you now to watch the cutscene. See you in a sec. Okay, there we go. As you can see, like I said before the cutscene, there is a lot of humour going on. It's pretty crap humour, I'll admit that, but it is good sort of fun, old-fashioned fun back in the days of the PS1. This is also out for the PC, and it's probably better on the PC version, to be honest, but I didn't have that at hand, and the PS1 version is a lot more accessible on the PlayStation Network, and I just remembered it from when I was little, so I thought I'd make a review on it. And here comes the first level very soon. There's a couple of different menus, a couple of different languages, which is quite rare for such an old game. I can't remember that many games having language options, to be honest. Okay, it's like a board game. Every level is a place. You can only go one place at a time, you know, not like a board game in that sense. You'll be seeing this loading screen quite a lot. This is a bit of a downside for the game, but you only see it when going in between levels, not in the middle of a level, so it's not too bad. As you can see by here, there's a big case study for you to read. Well, only a little case study. Cure 10 people, and yeah, just do everything that it says in the case study and you'll win the level. Sometimes in the case, you will not be able to do some things, like don't let a certain amount of people die or something like that. This is only the first level, so it's very basic. As you saw back there while I was talking, there was quite a few different types of rooms that you can choose from. You can choose corridor items like benches and things, which we'll be seeing in a second. Right here's the blueprint part. You choose how big you want the room. I think it costs more if you do a bigger room. Don't quote me on that. But it's got to be big enough for everything to fit in. You can choose more items, but I never did on this part. This is a post-commentary, by the way, if you haven't noticed already. Having staff. Right. There's some. Rude, abrasive, gets people back up, which is bad, but they cost less, so you might want to go for that. But I like to go for the more expensive ones and get the better treatment. Get the ones that'll stay working for longer. Because otherwise, if you get the crap ones, you'll be going for the staff room all the time, which you have to build, otherwise they just leave. Get really tired and leave. Anyway, the review part, we haven't done much about that yet. So, positives. The positives are that... let's have a think. It's definitely the same game as on the PC version, but with a couple of things missed out. There's no music. That's a massive downside. Like the PC version had music that you could turn on. This one doesn't. I think it was because of restraints on the PS1. But I don't fully understand it. That's just what I read up. As well as that, you can get rats in the hospital. We haven't seen them yet, but when you do, on the PC version, you could go around, and when you put your mouse over the rat, there would be like an aiming target, like I don't know what games have got it, but like when you look through a rifle and you see a sort of big aiming target, that appears over the rats and you can kill them off. But on the PS1 version, you don't get that, even though it was really fun, I thought. Anyways, here's the corridor items I was talking about earlier. Radiators turn up the heat. Employees will get tired faster if there's not enough radiators and plants around. Whereas the patients, that's the word, I was thinking visitors then for some reason. They also need radiators for obvious reasons, and plants just make it a nicer place and you get more money for VIP visits and things like that. Now, handymen. I'm going for receptionist first. Okay. You'll need one of those for the reception. You should only need one reception desk and one receptionist, but you can have more if you have multiple doors on your hospital, which you will do in further levels, but not in this one. Handymen, like I was saying before, you can have them, so there's 3 things that they do. They will water plants, fix machines, and tidy up the litter so rats don't come. Now, you can have it so that the handyman does all 3 equally, which is how they start off when you employ them. Or you can go over them and sort of make it so that one handyman does all the rubbish in the hospital, one handyman does all the cleaning machines, and one does all the plants, you know? Or you can do sort of mixtures in between. There's like a bar that you can, 3 bars that you can sort of do across. I haven't shown that in this, but there are. Toilets, obviously, the patients need them. Staff never seem to need them for some reason. Oh, this screen will be seen a lot. If you don't have enough diagnosis rooms, like general diagnosis, GP's office, Psychiatry Ward, I think is one of them, then patients are going to have to wait because they won't be able to find the cure for them. Let me move a sec, sorry about that. Like I was saying, general diagnosis. Make enough room for everything. It's a bit of a downside because it doesn't show you how much room you need before you build the room. So you might have to play about for quite a while. And it uses up time, you know, when the hospital is open. You have a month before the hospital opens to get everything sort of set up. As you can see the date next to the money up the top? That's where you see how long. The days go by like seconds, or I think it's 2 or 3 seconds to each day. Something like that. But you can change the game speed as well. This is on near the fastest, but not quite as fast, because when it's completely fast, it's just havoc. Okay, inflation room. We'll be seeing that later, and that is an incredible... It's so funny. It is so funny. Not all the diseases are available in the first level, but they come along slowly as you go through the levels, you know, as you'd expect in a game. Really, start off with basic, get a bit more advanced as you go through each level. The longer your hospital is open, the more patients will come. So you'll need to constantly do buy new seating and things like that. Hardly anyone has to stand. Your little avatar in the bottom who helps you is really handy. He can really help you. Really help you when you're struggling. He can tell you when the hospital needs tidying up, when the plants need watering, when people are thirsty, when people need seating, things like that. So that's really handy. Psychiatry Ward. For there, you need a special kind of doctor. And he is a psychiatrist. But as it's going to show by here... Oh, the squits, that's lovely. As it's going to show by here, you're not always going to have the right variety of doctors to employ. There's no psychiatrist there, so you have to wait till the end of the month for more doctors to come in and go out of the employment sort of square menu. So we'll have to wait another month. A ward. Nurses work in the ward. Yeah, doctors and nurses. Certain ones work in certain rooms. So you can't have a doctor working in the infirmary or the ward, and you can't have a nurse working in the GP's office or inflation room or psychiatry room. This is a new menu. Take a chance on the possible cure. It's what I always do, but there's a percentage chance in all the writing of how much chance it has to cure them and how much chance it has to kill them off. I was really gutted I couldn't show you the death, but it never sort of happened while I was playing. When they do die, it's really funny. In the PC version, another difference, the Grim Reaper comes along and takes the patient away. But in this version, I can't remember the Grim Reaper ever being in it, you know. I think the patient just falls over and sort of flies up with angel wings on them. Need to water your plants. See those little messages I was talking about earlier? We need a psychiatrist. We're getting messages about it now, which is never good, but it's a while until we can actually do anything about it. Now for a while on screen, there's just going to be a bit of filler until we earn more money, and once you get to the end of the year, that's when things start to happen. Ooh, here's the pause menu. That's the gameplay speed that I was talking about earlier, right on the far right. You can turn it up a bit more, down a bit more, whatever. If you're really bad at the game, you might want to slow it down. I was when I first started, and I'm not exactly brilliant now, but whatever. Here's another menu. Research screen makes you research new rooms, new better machines and things like that, so there's more chance of them curing and not killing. But they cost money, again. Let's see. Any more negatives about... Oh, there we go. If a patient is left too long, or there's no cure in the hospital and you've told them to wait quite a few times, they're just going to leave and have a little exit sign above their head. And that's never good, because at the end of the year you get different bonuses, different amounts of money coming in for the good things you do, more reputation for your hospital, for more patients to come, for the good things you do. But if you do bad things, you get like black rewards, and they're going to take stuff down. They're not going to be good. If you do too badly, then you have game over. Right, just now you saw a VIP screen. That means a VIP is going to come to the hospital, assess it all. That'll give you a little bonus for now, like a bit of money, depending on how well your hospital has been run, as well as a little bit of an assessment for later on when you finish the year, and it goes for the awards, you know, it goes towards that sort of stuff. You can have a few different VIPs during a year, or you can just have one. You don't even have to let them in, and you'll still get awards and stuff, don't worry about that. But it's always better to have a VIP in it. There's not really a downside to it that I can think of at the moment. Yeah, you'll be seeing the fax machine a lot. There's just not enough diagnosis rooms around to sort it out. To sort all the patients out, I mean. I hope I can't hear the mic too much. Sorry about that. I can't get it on a solid surface. So it's just wiggling about a bit. So I hope you can't hear that happening. Anyways, downsides like I was trying to think of before. Other than it being a bit worse than the PC version, but not enough to put you off the PS1 version. I guess it can be quite a slow game. It's quite repetitive. There aren't a lot of new things from level to level. If you play the first level, you're going to pretty much know what's coming from then on. Even though there are additions to each level as you go along, like new diseases, new earthquakes. They come along during one level quite a bit later on. And they're awful. They will break your machines down and everything. As well as that, you'll get helicopters coming in for emergencies. Which they'll have all little, you know, like on police cars, there's those blue lights that, and ambulances I suppose, that would make more sense. You have those little lights, blue lights. They are on top of each of the patient's head that come into the hospital at that time. You've got a certain amount of time to cure all of those before time runs out. And you get bonus money, bonus reputation for doing really well. It really depends on how well you do, how many of those people that come in on the helicopter... Hold on. How many of those people come in on the helicopter and live. So yeah, they're all the new things I can think of right now. I never did complete Theme Hospital. It does get to be an incredibly hard game, and I guess that's another downside. Or good side, depending on how you see it. It's good because some people like a challenge in these sorts of games, these sort of simulator games. But some people might want an easier ride. I don't think there's a difficulty setting, and that's a big problem for difficult games. They really should have a beginner setting, but maybe that's just my opinion going on now. Is there anything else to say? Really? Okay, this is a VIP. Okay. He'll be wandering around. You can't do anything with him. Can't pick him up. Can't check his status. Can't do anything about him. As well as that, we have the inflation room. Bloaty head. Pop. We'll be watching another one now, so I'm going to shut up so that you can... Uncommon cold. Oh, okay, that's solved in the infirmary. Here we go, I'm going to shut up for this bit. Oh. I left. Never mind. But yeah, it's such a weird disease. Yeah, queues. You can put different customers to the front of queues, which is really good for the emergency patients that I mentioned earlier. Put them at the front, and everything will go a bit smoother. You can fix machines whenever you want. They don't have to be smoking to fix them. I think we've only actually got one machine that can be fixed or broken in here, and that is the inflation room's bloaty head thing. You have been awarded a cash grant of 400. Anyone fancy a curry?
Doctor, attending psychiatry, please.
Yeah, I'm easily impressed. Anyways, yeah, a lot of the staff can sort of wander off to the staff room at the worst times, you know? So you always have to try and drag staff around and put them in different rooms. Oh, here we go. Turn the heating up and down. Make things hotter and colder, but make things more expensive and cheaper as well around the place, which is never good. Right, sometimes staff will try to leave unless they have a wage increase, which you'll want to give them as the place becomes more busy. It's better to have better staff than loads of crappy staff, I think. Because if you have loads of crappy staff, you'll just be paying loads of wages, and a lot of them will just be in the staff room all the time, and you'll have to buy more sofas and things like that in the staff room. Look at this with the higher speed. It's hard to pick the doctors up and things to move them in the high speed. So that's the downside to it, even though it makes things go a bit quicker and a bit more interesting maybe. Anyways, here we go. This is the end of the year at 31st of December, or 1st of January, however you look at it. We were all in the Hall of Shame, because it was only our first year, so I think that's meant to happen, you know. We were the richest, highest salary, best death count, even though nobody died in either of them. Kill count was the highest. We're Horser, by the way. Most visitors, we nearly won. Total value, we won. Different types of awards. We got all red, all good. Best reputation of the year. Avoided any deaths. Get loads of money for that, so it's worth going for, even though it's hard to do. Best reputation during the year. Most valuable hospital. The hospital is very clean. So there we go. That's the end of the level because we met all of the requirements in the case at the very beginning. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's my first ever review, so take that how you like. I think I prefer doing it like this, where it's sort of a let's play and a review at the same time, because it's a lot easier. So, this has been Greeny XI. Hope you've enjoyed. See you again. Might do another review, might not. In a bit.